Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session of Calf and Barrel Lab. My name is Dr. Andra Nanan, and this is Dr. Ryan Josh Pear. Today, we will be demonstrating how exactly to apply ropes to the limbs of this calf, as well as how to apply a head snare. So, to start off with, what we will attempt to do is to replicate the birth passage, which is the vaginal canal. Okay, so here we are demonstrating how to form loops using the obstetric ropes to apply to the limbs of the calf in the birth passage. First, we will start off with a simple loop formed by passing one end of the rope through the other end of the rope. The loop is then formed. It is placed on the limb above the joint that we would like to secure. The second loop is made by forming a half hitch, slipping over the limb and below the joint that we wish to secure, and tighten down. Okay, so to start off with, what we'll do is form a loop outside of the vagina. Okay, we'll pretend this calf is within the birth passage. To apply the ropes to the limbs, we will enter the vulva, apply the rope over the most distal and accessible joint and proximal to that joint. What we can then do is form a loop outside the vulva, pass it into the vulva, and apply that loop below that very same joint. Okay? In doing this, we disperse tension on the limb so as to not cause damage to the joint itself. That is one method. The second method is to form the loop inside of the vulva itself, whereby we could then slip the loop onto the joint, just below the joint that is. To maintain control of the head and neck, we can use an obstetric rope as well. A loop is formed in the same way as before. It is placed behind the ears, in the mouth, and tightened down. Additionally, we can use a head snare to achieve this same goal. The head snare is placed behind the ears, in the mouth, and tightened down, as Dr. Pear is demonstrating here. Before demonstrating the calf and barrel, we'll talk a bit about the disposition of the calf. The disposition consists of presentation, position, and posture. The presentation of the calf is the spinal axis of the calf in relation to the spinal axis of the dam. The position of the calf is the aspect of the maternal pelvis to which the dorsum of the calf is applied. Posture of the calf is the appendages of the calf in relation to the trunk of the calf. For example, normal disposition is anterior longitudinal presentation, dorsosacral position with bilateral forelimb extension. In this instance, we have a calf who is in anterior longitudinal presentation, dorsosacral position, and with bilateral carpal flexion. We can see Dr. Pear, who will convert both carpal flexions into carpal extensions while cupping the hooves to ensure that there is no damage to the vaginal passage. After correction of both carpal flexions into carpal extensions, he will then apply ropes to the proximal and distal aspects of the fetlock joints. Here we have Dr. Pear, who will be putting on an obstetric sleeve and demonstrating from the caudal aspects of the cow how to adequately apply obstetric ropes to the limbs of the calf. Dr. Pear has inserted his hand into the vulva and is palpating the calf. He has grasped the limb and is now exteriorizing it. He has formed a loop and is placing it on the distal aspect of the limb. A half hitch is then placed distally to his first loop and secured.